Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and look at Stuart Alderati. A quick knockout punch would have been nice, but at the end of the day, the wheels of justice move slowly, eventually siding with the good guys. The CB judge, Coinbase judge, gave the SEC the benefit of the doubt at this early stage, as she must. This is far from over, and this is the Coinbase general counsel or chief legal officer, whatever, I think that's his title. So their case is now going to go on, and they're going to have to go through the same thing Ripple went through, is what it looks like now. But I wanted to reference this. Stuart Alderati says, but at the end of the day, the wheels of justice move slowly, eventually siding with the good guys, which reminded me of this. Actually, the official cool guy texted me. He's the official cool guy of the Digital Asset Investor channel. He's been out of pocket here recently, but you never know when he's going to show back up. But he had brought this to my attention. Remember when I'm on stage at XRP Las Vegas, I had said, we're going to win this thing because we're the good guys. And that's kind of how I've always come to this thing. So who knows? Maybe Stuart Alderati was listening because we're the good guys. Then check this out. So I've been clipping, I found several interesting clips from Crypto for Life show, and he was all excited that I'd mentioned him, but I told him, I said, man, I'm mentioning you because you're putting out content that's worthy of being mentioned, so pat yourself on the back. Look, people that are good folks that are working their butts off, I know exactly where he is in growing his channel, and I like listening to people that are sharp and get it, and I think he gets it. So I've clipped out a few things, including this clip I wanted you to hear. SEC Ripple settlement to prevent further destruction of the SEC as an institution. Listen to Jimmy Valley.
If I had my druthers, it's like how much more embarrassment and destruction of the SEC as an institution are the commissioners and the politicians willing to allow to occur? I think if they actually take this all the way to Supreme Court, it's hard to imagine the SEC ever being thought of again as a prudential regulator. I mean, it's basically the corruption and all the things that have been exposed. Now you're just talking more time for more of this stuff to come out. Yeah. It's going to continue to come out. So I'd really like to see like big kids and cooler heads prevail and get in a room and strike us up.
This is what would, if you didn't have political hacks like Gary Gensler running the SEC, and they were just working in the best interest of the United States instead of China, then this would have happened a long time ago.
Right. Maybe they get paid. And this ties into, if the penalty pays, it ties into the comment I want to make about institutional sales. So, a private transaction in securities to an institution is the definition of a private placement. Right. Private placements under Section 4 of the securities laws are exempt from registration, right? Okay. So even assuming, that Ripple did everything the SEC assumed they did about this issue, the judge has in fact ruled that, that those were securities transactions. Correct. All that really we're talking about a footfall violation because they just sold to accredited investors, effectively, institutional investors. Right. So they should have to file a Form D and perfect the private placement. They should have to pay a nominal fine, and we should move on with our lives. I agree. And I think Ethereum should go through this, should do the exact same thing. I'm not looking for Ethereum, the digital asset, the network itself, to have to go through this shit show that all of us have had to endure for the past 4 years. That's right.
He's right about that. None of us want Ethereum to be harmed. Now, that a separate issue is whether they go after the people that founded Ethereum that did anything illegal. That's different.
It was clearly a securities offering at the ICO. That's why Bill Hinman put it aside. when he had the speech. But that's fine. Let's make them, pay a fine, follow Form D, and then let's let the markets decide which one of these are going to be the most.
Exactly. That's what we've said all along, is let's let the markets decide. Now, this right here, if you listen closely, you're going to hear what I've been here about all along. This, if you go, I lived through the dot-com boom and bust, and if you lived through that, back then, the only way you were going to come out of the dot-com boom and do well financially was by owning shares of private equity in the dot-com companies that were being built back then. This time you have that, but the value is also in the protocol. It would have been like being able to invest back then in the email protocol or in the HTTP protocol itself, which you couldn't do. This time you can. There's going to be a handful of these protocols that survive, and I believe when utility begins, the value is going to be in the protocol, and that's when it will shock the world.
One, it's important because Bitcoin has been the best performing asset class in 8 of the last 10 years, right? It's important because Bitcoin was the originator of blockchain and the originator of some of the new practices that have become commonplace in the crypto domain. And it was hard to invest in that innovation because of the way that you needed to invest in Bitcoin through either a centralized or a decentralized exchange, and you needed to hold the asset in a wallet, right? So it was an unusual way of accessing a new technology. Compare that to when ChatGPT came out last year, the money that flowed into these AI stocks, because people understood that company, those companies that originated these early LMM models and these early AI offerings were of huge potential value because of their innovative importance, right? Bitcoin never got the benefit of seeing that innovative importance because it was very hard to trade. Now it is becoming much easier to trade. And the reason that's important is because Bitcoin really is going to be seen as history as introducing the pivot point from today's platform economy, which I think everyone on this call is very familiar with, and many of the firms on this call have made a lot of money by participating in the platform economy. But the launch of Bitcoin really marked the pivot to what we are calling the protocol economy. And this protocol economy offers a very different value proposition, right? In the traditional platform economy, you invested into the company that built the platform, that attracted the users, and that created network effects, right? So you are buying the company based on the value proposition of it could create network effects and benefit from that. But now with the protocol economy, of which Bitcoin was the originator, right? You are buying the network. You are buying the network effects. You are buying the network. And I think that is such an advancement in the investment hypothesis. But so many people have lost that because they got very caught up in the mechanics of the early Bitcoin trading, the difficulty of accessing it. So as a product, the Bitcoin ETF is going to now have a place in portfolios because of its spectacular performance and its speculative performance.
Okay, I think you get it now. And this is from that Coinbase. The Judge Fowler has denied Coinbase's motion to dismiss and will allow the SEC to continue with its case. So basically this thing's going to drag on, which means clarity for all those digital assets is going to drag on. Meta Lawman says she's denied the Coinbase motion to dismiss, which is not a surprise. My commentary while in the courtroom for hearing back in January. My guess, and it's just a guess, is she's going to allow the case to go forward like the Ripple case. So a fun 3 years. So now I'm going to translate it for you into very simple terms. The only digital asset with legal regulatory clarity is XRP, and it could be that way for the next 2 or 3 years, folks. Let that sink in. If this Ripple case ends here in the next few months, it could literally be sitting there with 1,000% legal clarity. The case is behind them, and all you have sitting there is XRP. And what's gonna happen then? Think about the flood of ETFs that would open up then. Bill Morgan said it better than anybody I've seen. Coinbase now faces the hell Ripple has gone through for 3.5 years. Then we've got this. Now, I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't think it's a mistake that all the guns are blazing for Ripple and XRP now. It's at top fever pitch negativity. All the people that over the years have been doing hit pieces like Laura Shin, which, trust you me, this is coordinated. Now you've got, they're sending out their other minions. This was Laura Shin back in January 2018. This was a hit piece designed to get people's attention so it would beat the XRP price down, in my opinion. I said same Ripple hit piece playbook, right, Laura Shin? What this is, if you look at what Subjective Views put out, this is a hit piece from yesterday, all right? And the guy, I guess this is yesterday. What's today's date? No, it's today. 2012, he's writing up, trying to take shots at Ripple and XRP. The rise of crypto's billion-dollar zombies. And that's what he calls it, and it's one of those hit pieces. Well, I went and looked up this guy, and it just so happens that when you look him up, Laura Shin has on her LinkedIn page where how writing the Cryptopians shaped my views on Ethereum. Laura Shin and Stephen Ehrlich, the same guy that just wrote the Forbes hit piece. He's a contributor to Forbes just like Laura Shin. What a coincidence. That's the same Laura Shin that wrote an entire book on Ethereum without covering anything about ETHgate. Same Laura Shin, who has still not covered anything about ETHgate. Then she retweets his little hit piece, and she's got the laughing face. So I retweeted her tweet, and I said, when cover ETHgate and Ethereum ICO disguised Chinese whales, Laura Shin? And of course, she doesn't answer because she can't. And then here's Subjective Views. He's showing this. Hey, Forbes, if Ripple and its native digital asset XRP were not unfairly targeted by corrupt scumbag regulators named Jay Clayton and Bill Hinman, we would have had an environment where the technologies can compete fairly. So then I just wanted to draw this to your attention. In 2014, I know this is all a coincidence, folks, but in 2014, a group called Integrated Whale Media Investments out of Hong Kong purchased 95% of Forbes. Then in, I guess in 2023, a guy named Austin Russell, this young billionaire tycoon, acquired an 82% stake in Forbes Global Media Holdings. So I guess now he's the largest holder. Here's what's interesting about Austin Russell. Remember the Thiel Fellowship where Peter Thiel was giving $100,000 to people to drop out of college, and he would choose all these different people? One of the guys, Vitalik Buterin, class of 2014, got the $100,000. And Austin Russell, class of 2013. A lot of coincidences in this space, aren't there? Then we've got this. Here's a guy who has this video of him telling you, you must get rid of your XRP. He's such a reasonable guy.
Sell your XRP. Not financial advice, of course, but just check this out. There's absolutely no point in holding XRP. This is the last 90-day performance. When Bitcoin is outperforming your...
He's using as his argument, the whole video, because I don't want to vomit on the keyboard. The whole video is sell your XRP because it hasn't performed as good as Bitcoin and some of the other altcoins in this period of time. He doesn't mention that it's the only one that's been under a lawsuit for a lot of reasons that we've covered here. He's just interested in pointing to the green candles. Hey, look, me and all the other kids, we see all these green candles and XRP wasn't involved in it. And because of that, we children think you should just go into the cartoon monkey stuff or whatever it is he's into, the next Luna or whatever, right? And I made this commentary. The XRP haters they're coming out of the woodwork at this point. Why? Same question we presented during the SEC lawsuit applies here. Why did the SEC choose XRP out of the thousands of tokens? Why XRP? Because it was the greatest threat. Why are these crypto pundits so concerned with scaring you from XRP? It's the same answer. The fear is real. After all, XRP is the only digital asset with legal clarity. There's not one token this guy is going to try to shill to his audience that is not under securities regulation or that has any legal clarity, and that includes Bitcoin. None of them have real legal clarity, which means they've been through a court case or there was a congressional bill. None of them, okay? Only XRP. This is what I say to all of that. And then, as a by the way, I thought I would just leave this here. This is the same guy from November 28, 2021. Launchpad for Terra ecosystem. I think, yes, Luna is only going to get bigger. So this is the guy we should listen to about XRP, right? Fidelity has thrown the Hail Mary and filed an S1 for their Ethereum ETF this morning. This is not an amendment. This is their first. They had only filed a 19B4 until today. So we'll see what happens there. Now, here's what I can say to you about what I'm going to cover in DAIXRP.com. What I'm going to cover, I'm going to say 3 words. Wow, wow, wow. This is something you've all seen. This is something that was sent to me today. It's something you've all seen, but you've never seen this, or most of you haven't. So wait till I show you this video. It's just a wow, wow, wow. After your childhood and after everything you've seen and watched, and you thought you were seeing what you were seeing, but you were seeing something else. Here we go. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family. If you're ready to see something that's going to blow your mind, get ready. Here we go.